So another replay. This one, I do believe this is an 811 replay. I can't be sure. I've had these replays sitting here for a while and sort of been busy / can't be bothered. But seeing as 9.0 is coming out very soon, better get into it and put these ones on YouTube. So this one is it's a tier 6 game under my Marta 38T. It's an assault on Sand River and we are attacking. And again, I'm platooned with Triggles and Oda. Oda is in his Matilda, which is a pretty strong tank at tier 4, but at tier 6 is not much good. It can still do damage over time though. And Triggles is in his Marta 2, a tier 3 tank destroyer, in a tier 6 game. Although it does have the same guns that the 38T has. And speaking of which, the 38T was a really, really good tank destroyer. Almost won 2 out of 3 games in that tank over the whole. The amount of games I played was like 300 or something. So yeah, the fact that the Marta 2 still has the same guns and they just don't fire quite as quick or don't aim quite as quick still doesn't mean it can't do anything at this type of tier. It can still spot, it can still shoot, still do damage. So here I am, I'm playing a little bit too aggressive here, and you'll see in a second I get spotted, and oh no, I don't get quite spotted, I get potentially spotted. So again, I'm just going to roll back, get into the cover of these rocks, and then reassess. The Marta, these things, they're open top, they don't have a lot of health, they have practically no armor. So I don't want to get spotted and start taking damage. But fortunately, I have 6th sense on this crew, and it didn't go off, so therefore I know I haven't been spotted. And just as I'm lining the shot up, the little M8 dies. And there's side shots on the turret of an M4, which is always a very dodgy shot. But it did make him pull back. So at this stage, most of our team, or a reasonable chunk of our team, is still back near our cap. We've got a couple of tank destroyers, we've got a TOG 2, and we've got an AT2, enemy AT2 right in front of me, and I don't take any shots because a very small chance of penning him. I'd have to get a nice lucky shot on the Coppola to get a pen, really. So not really worth it. There's also, and there we go, Hellcat finished his AT2 off. And the enemy team just giving us a bit of stick about wasting time. They do have a T150 around the corner, and this T150 will become pretty instrumental later on. You'll see what happens. So there's an M4 who's the earlier one that I was taking shots at, and I get really dodgy angles. Another shot on the side of his turret, but I can't get it to hit. It just keeps hitting the rock before I can get the follow-up shot. Someone finishes him off. So at this stage, it's just under 7 minutes. Not a lot of our team is pushed into the base. We've got the KV-1S at the bottom on the east side. He's pushing in, but long reload. He's going to have to slowly chew through those tanks. I mean, he can do magnificent amounts of damage. You see there's the enemy KV-1S. So there's a KV-220 and a KV-1S that's holding that the cap area off from our KV-1S. And you see here, I'm reversing back, and I'm trying to get a proximity spot on the T150, but I'm just not quite close enough. I don't know exactly where he is on the corner. I don't know if he's pulled all the way back, right into that little part in the middle of F. So Triggs is going around, he's getting bored. So as the enemy team is again pointing out, 4 minutes have already passed. So Triggs is trying to spot the T150, and there he is. He has lost a bit of health, but he's still got a fair bit. So he's really playing aggressive, and this is strange. The T150 could one-shot the Marder 2 quite easily, even on a minimum damage roll. He could do that. So now I spot the Electo. I'll start putting some shots in him, and look at the DPM of this gun. Oh, the guy dies, but had he not taken that shot, I would have had a second shot out. So really quick reload on these guns. Penetration's not great, not bad. It's a tier 4, so I guess for a tank destroyer the penetration's good, but as soon as you start going up a few tiers, it starts becoming a bit of an issue. Still, fortunately, at tier 6, most tanks you can still penetrate if you know what you're doing. And here I'm just waiting for the aim time, and the guy, I was going for the Coppola, but he turned his turret, another Coppola shot, and it just sails over. Yeah, so he had his turret side on, which I could have pinned. And there we go. Get a nice flush shot on the side of his tank. I'm just waiting for him to turn his turret a little bit more. And no, gun's not behaving. There we go, finally, finish him off. And there's a Hellcat. Get a pen into him. And the shot goes a little low, damages his tracks. Still, I would have needed a really high roll. No, it doesn't matter, because our Hellcat takes him out. Unfortunately, that Hellcat, before he died, took out Triggs, so it's basically me and me alone on this flank, and as you'll see when I switch to my third person, our TOG is over there in the low section, I guess, the Sand River section. I don't know why a TOG is up there. That, I just don't know. So, bounced off the 36. There we go, get a pen on him. And another ricochet. And I finish him off. So the enemy AMX-40, for the life of me also, I don't know why, but he's in the ditch as well with the TOG. This is one of those situations that it just does not make sense. And now we've got a Jagdpanzer 2 that's gone down there. Although I think he's done that as a way to get away from the guy. Ironically, then, it costs him his life. Of course, the TOG 2 is still in there. And he's still got most of his HP, but he's perfectly useless in there. The gun, there's nothing he can do. There's no areas he can climb up and use his gun. He has to go all the way back out. So under 3 minutes, game's sort of dragging out. Only done 500 or so damage. We've still got 3 arty on our side, but apart from that, the TOG is useless. The Sherman Jumbo is pushing over near the FV304. But as you'll see, the Hummel takes out the FV304. Sherman Jumbo takes out the Hummel. Then this is where it becomes really silly. I'm expecting the T150 to be there, but he's not there. So I know he's gone around the back somewhere. There he gets spotted, and there's their other arty. So Sherman Jumbo takes a big hit. He's on 200 health. I'm just waiting to get a nice shot on the arty here. And of course, our arty takes him out, and then the T150 takes out the Sherman Jumbo. So it's now a T150 versus a TOG who's in a useless position, 2 arty who are sitting back at the base, and me. And there's a minute 30 on the clock. So at this stage, we can't cap. If 3 of us got on the cap, yes, we could, but there's no way that 3 of us are going to get on the cap. Me, myself, and I on the cap alone would not cap it in time. So I have to kill the T150. And he was last spotted on 390 HP. So I know the gun does an average of about 108 or 110 damage. So I pretty much know that if he's on 380 or 390 HP, I basically need to hit him 4 times. I can't get lucky rolls or anything. It's not like if he was on 310 where I can hope to get a high roll and maybe take him out in 3 shots. I've got to put 4 shots into him. And the thing is, he can still one-shot me. So in the time it takes me to shoot him, he has all the time in the world to make sure his shot hits. So I've pretty much, there's 30 seconds on the clock. It's really coming down to, well, the reload's a bit under 3 seconds, so I fire, then I have to hit 3 more shots. It's got to be about 10 seconds, a bit under 10 seconds. And the enemy team claiming they've already won. Now watch this. I'll slow this down to slow-mo. Half-assed shot. It depends. Luckily. Low roll though, but still. And I'm waiting for the thing to settle, and I take another shot now. Now, watch this. He just one-shot me. 4 seconds on the clock, he's on fire. He's on fire, and he dies with 1 second on the clock. RNG was a bitch.